Welcome to RemoteSpark 204, Module 2. My name is Paul Archer. I'm the Director of Security here at RemoteSpark, and today we're going to be talking about trouble. We'll be going over the Windows updates, the device permissions, having access to the Microsoft Store, how we actually go about creating accounts, some of the known login issues, network troubleshooting, how to use the network test tool, and lastly to point you in the source of the information of the knowledge base. You notice as we go through the slides in the top right-hand corner, you'll see one of these two icons. These icons just depict whether I'm talking about the PC or the HoloLens. Having Windows updates on a UWP application can actually affect the operation of it. If you are experiencing functionality that's not normal, the app's not working the way that you expect it to be, the best thing to do is actually go ahead and do the Windows updates, whether it's on the PC or the HoloLens. We're now going to talk about device permissions. When running RemoteSpark for the PC without a microphone or speaker, it will still boot up and still run. It'll only be semi-functional, though. You won't be able to make calls. So you'll still be able to manage your contacts in the library. You'll be unable to participate in a call until you actually set up a microphone and speakers. To check the PC microphone permissions on a computer, the easiest way to do is to navigate to Settings, Privacy and Security, and then Microphone. And then you'll want to make sure that RemoteSpark does in fact have the PC setting set to on. The best place to download RemoteSpark is going to be the Microsoft Store, whether it be for the PC or the HoloLens. It's also not uncommon to encounter corporate policies that either prevent access to the Microsoft Store or will only allow whitelisted applications. If this is the case and you do come across these scenarios, we can actually provide the sideload files to help you install RemoteSpark. Account creation. From time to time, you may find corporate policies actually dictate that employees are only allowed to use their corporate Microsoft accounts or to use approved applications on tenants. If this is the case, you'll need to get your IT department involved and see if RemoteSpark can actually be whitelisted to allow users to create their users via the Microsoft authentication method. Again, if it's not possible, your only other option is to use the RemoteSpark accounts. One last point about account creation. RemoteSpark does support using accounts via Microsoft authentication methods. So whether it be Azure Active Directory, whether it be Microsoft accounts or Office 365 accounts, you cannot create an Active Directory account to use with RemoteSpark. One of the most common issues that gets reported by users when it's talking about logging into RemoteSpark is the actual confusion between a Microsoft authentication method and a RemoteSpark account method. Now, when you sign up, the method that you use to create the account on day one, that is the method that you're going to use. So if you sign up with a Microsoft account, when you log in, it will always be a Microsoft account. If you sign up with RemoteSpark, it will be a RemoteSpark account. The Microsoft account cannot be used to log into a RemoteSpark account and vice versa. Here we're going to demonstrate logging in with a RemoteSpark account. We're going to enter our email address, and then we're going to enter our password, and we'll click Login, and we have a login invalid. So that means that we might need to change our password. One of the common issues that we see are password resets. So if an account is actually created using a Microsoft account, you can't use RemoteSpark to reset a Microsoft account password if the password is forgotten. Password resets on Microsoft accounts have to be done using Microsoft. Here we're going to demonstrate a password reset. By clicking on the Forgot Password button, I can enter my email address that I use to log into RemoteSpark. I can then click Reset, and what should happen is a password token should be sent to my email. I will then have to enter it here. So I'll check my email, look for an email message from RemoteSpark. I copy the token. I then paste the token in the token box and click Validate. I enter a new password. And then I confirm the password. And then I click Set. I click OK. And I'm now able to use the new password to log into RemoteSpark. Another issue is users being logged out. So again, accounts are device agnostic. So you can actually log on to a PC or a HoloLens with that account. It doesn't matter whether it's one or the other. However, if you've logged on to a PC using an account and then you use that same account to log into a HoloLens, the PC user is actually going to be logged out. Network troubleshooting. One of the common reasons for RemoteSpark not to be able to gain access to make a call is internet connectivity. So usually this refers to having your network ports blocked. RemoteSpark requires two ports to be open. It's going to be port 443 using TCP and port 3478 using TCP/UDP to allow access to our communication servers. We do have a built-in network test tool. This will actually allow the users to check whether or not the ports are being blocked. It's a very quick, easy step to take, especially when you're having issues with RemoteSpark. If you double click on the avatar at the bottom left, this should open up the tool for you. We're now going to open up the network test tool by double clicking on the avatar, and we're going to click Run Tests. And if everything works correctly, we should see success. We're now going to rerun the tests and show you what a simulated failure looks like. You'll notice that when the results come back, they're actually red, which means they failed. When you do see failed errors, there's really going to be two failed errors. It's either the device is not going to be able to find the RemoteSpark servers. Again, this is usually because port 443 is being blocked. Or the second error you may see is finding video communication services. This means that usually port 3478 is being blocked and you don't have access to the communication servers. But again, giving this information to the RemoteSpark customer care team will help them solve the issue with you. RemoteSpark does maintain a knowledge base that's available 24 hours a day. Simply type in your search criteria and search for the articles below. If none of the articles meet your criteria, you can always submit a ticket to our customer success team. In review, we discussed troubleshooting techniques such as Windows updates, looking at the device permissions, how to use the Microsoft Store, creating accounts, some common login issues, utilizing the network test tool, and lastly, where to find answers at the knowledge base. Thanks for watching and good luck on the quiz.